In today's video, we're going to tell you how to deal with being sick in an RV while traveling.
Hey there, Wanders. Sorry. If you can't tell, I'm sick. So we thought...
She's actually not faking that. She is
no,
really sick.
I'm really sick. I was just diagnosed with strep throat. I'm on antibiotics though, so we're past the, hopefully, the spreading germs portion. But we thought today would be a great day to share with you some of our tips and tricks of what we do to not spread the love to each other and what we do to make ourselves feel better when we are sick on the road.
Now, before we get too far into the video, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell notification so you can get a notification anytime we release a new episode. And a quick disclaimer before we get started, even though we both are registered nurses, this is by no means medical advice.
Yeah, we're not doctors. If you have any questions or concerns, you should always contact your doctor and find out what's best for you. These are just some remedies and helpful things that we do that make us feel better when we're sick.
Alright, let's get started.
So sometimes, unfortunately, working in the emergency room, we collect these little bugs and we bring them home with us. So we thought we'd first discuss what we think is the most important thing, and that is prevention and, not spreading it around when you do bring it home.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, as the old saying goes. So one of the most basic things to do is wash your hands.
Yeah, even with our work in the emergency department, that is like the number one thing, or in the hospital in general, the number one thing that you can do to spread, or to prevent, sorry y'all, just to prevent the spread of infection.
So, warm water or hot water, 15 seconds, plenty of soap. Hum happy birthday to yourself while you wash your hands, and that'll be long enough.
Yeah, hand sanitizers are great too. They kill most germs out there. We'll talk a little bit later about the ones that they don't really work for. Alright, our next obvious tip would be to cover your cough, cover your sneezes. Those are how these germs become airborne. If you see, I have one of these constantly in my hand, and I have gone through about 1 million boxes of Kleenex. I probably should take stock out in them right now.
And because she covers her cough, I'm not sick. It's a good thing.
Yeah, because the man cold is not good. The only thing worse than me being sick is him being sick.
So the next tip that we have is, if you're able to, not everyone has a huge RV, some people have smaller RVs, is to sleep separately.
Yeah, so I've actually been sleeping out on the couch a lot. I actually find it's very comfortable, and I can't cover my cough when I'm sleeping, so I'm probably coughing all over him, and not to mention that my cough keeps him awake all night and he can't get any sleep either. So our other tip for prevention is an air purifier. We actually have an air purifier that we keep running in the RV all the time, just because it's such a small space, and it can build up a lot of crud and stuff.
Yeah, the one we actually got, so forewarned, it is super expensive, but it does kill viruses and bacteria and things like that, so it's very effective. Not all air filters are the same, and you don't have to spend as much as we did on an air filter.
Yeah, the one we have is called a Molecule, and it was it designed by, I can't remember. It's
designed for NASA.
Yeah, and so for air purification, for I guess there are space flights and stuff like that. And basically, most air purifiers collect the bacteria and the viruses in the filters. This one actually is supposed to destroy them. So we've had it for actually about a year now, and we've really, really loved it. It's been really great. Like when we turn it up on high, you can actually smell a difference in the air. It just doesn't feel as stagnant if you don't have like airflow and stuff going on. So it can be a great way to kind of prevent the spread of infection. Yeah, and like Jed said, if you don't have the money for a more expensive one like the Molecule, then just having another version that you can get at Walmart, Amazon could be
just
really
make
helpful.
just make sure that it has the ability to eliminate bacteria and viruses. That's the important thing. If you're interested in the Molecule, we will leave an affiliate link below, and you can get more information on it. And if you like it, then we can get you one.
So I guess our last tip would be to just kind of wipe down your surfaces a couple times a day if you can. I know when you're sick you don't really feel like cleaning or anything like that, but especially if you have like a Clorox wipe or something. I like thieves oil, like a spray, and you wipe down the countertops and everything. You're more or less likely. See, I can't even think.
So, especially heavily trafficked areas where a lot of people touch, just disinfect those areas. It goes a long way in spreading the ick, or preventing the spread of ick.
We don't want to spread the ick.
So one of the best pieces of advice when you're sick, stay hydrated.
Yeah, lots and lots of fluids. Don't worry about eating if you're not feeling well. Your body can go quite a long time without any food, but you need to make sure you stay hydrated. That's how a lot of people end up in the hospital. They're not, they're having, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, and they're not keeping fluids down. So just do your very best to try to keep fluids down. Don't try to drink large amounts at a time. Slowly sip throughout the day. You're more likely to keep it down that way.
And if you don't have any Gatorade, you can always add some salt and some potassium replacements like new salt.
Is actually potassium. But one of our favorite things to do to help with electrolytes, people always tell you like when you're not feeling well to have some chicken soup or whatever. We actually love bone broth, and bone broth comes in chicken and beef flavor. It helps keep your electrolytes up because when you have the vomiting or the diarrhea, you lose a lot of electrolytes, and so that helps you replenish them in addition to the water. So stuff like that's really good.
It has lots of nutrients and minerals and micronutrients in there. Kind of the same as chicken noodle soup that'll get you feeling better in no time.
So one of my absolute favorite things to do when I'm sick is to sip on herbal teas. I love herbal tea. Echinacea is really great if, just for boosting your immunity. I love ginger tea if you're having like upset stomach or gastrointestinal issues. And probably my favorite is peppermint tea. It's really great for nausea. It's also really great like if you're having a bunch of sinus congestion and everything. I'm actually sipping on a cup of mint tea right now. Well, not right now. But it's really great for opening your sinuses as well.
I'm not even a big tea drinker, and when I get sick or I feel nauseous, I like to drink ginger tea or peppermint tea, and it really, really does work wonders. Ginger ale is another thing that's really good.
Yeah, ginger's just really good for settling your stomach. And while we're talking about nausea, we have a tip that we actually use sometimes, and it works really, really well.
So this is something you may actually have in your medicine cabinet. So believe it or not, one of the oldest nursing tricks in the book are alcohol swabs. Alcohol, they've actually done studies, for some reason, they don't know why, actually settles the stomach.
Mm-hmm. So what you need to do is just, they have like those little tiny alcohol squares. If you have some of those in your cabinet, you just grab one or two of them, take them out of the package, and you just want to lay them on the bridge of your nose. And you kind of just breathe in the smell of that alcohol. Be careful not to get it too close to your eyes, but just kind of on the bridge of your nose there so you're breathing it in, and it's really amazing for helping nausea. So next we're going to talk just a little bit more about cough, congestion, sore throat, sinus problems. One of my very favorite things to do to help with all the congestion is essential oils. I absolutely love eucalyptus oil. It's really great to take just a small bowl, put some hot steaming water in there, drop 1 or 2 drops of the eucalyptus oil in there, and then just kind of breathe it in for, you know, 30 seconds or so. You don't want to breathe it in for too long of a period, but it can really kind of help open the sinuses. Another great way to use it is to just put a few drops of that eucalyptus oil in your shower when you're in the morning or at night, whenever you're taking your shower, and the hot water will kind of make it kind of a sauna effect, and you can breathe in all that eucalyptus while you're in the shower.
Yeah, the shower trick I really like. It works for me. The eucalyptus can be pretty strong, so
yeah, just be very careful with it, and just a few drops is more than enough.
So if you have a sore throat, one of the best natural remedies is gargling with salt water. Gargling with salt water will actually relieve your sore throat. Another thing that you can do is actually a big old spoonful of honey.
Yeah, I love a good spoonful of honey. It really kind of just soothes your throat. So many cough drops out there have like honey in them, and it's super soothing. So next we're going to talk about something that really nobody likes to talk about, and in our opinion it's like worst case scenario if both of you have this going on at the same time.
So we're talking about diarrhea, and let's face it, you're in an RV, you're in a small space. There's a lot of, our RV only has one bathroom. If you have two in your rig, then hey, you're ahead of the curve.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we've been in a position where we were very thankful that we were in an RV park and there were facilities there, because it can be a sticky situation. You know, like, so, I mean, I guess we have in our heads, like, what would we do if we were in the middle of nowhere and we only had the one bathroom and both of us had to go at the same time?
So if you're boondocking, you can always take a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket.
Or trash can.
And line it with a trash bag. And
maybe a couple trash bags.
I mean, depending on your comfort level.
It's always better than going on yourself. So, I mean, this is hard talk, people. This is hard talk.
This is real talk. So along these same lines, remember when we were talking about washing your hands with soap and water, and hand sanitizer is okay?
Well, this is the one time that you absolutely want to make sure you are washing your hands. Anytime you have diarrhea, you need to be washing your hands thoroughly. Hand sanitizers often don't kill a lot of the bacteria that are in stool, so you really need good hand hygiene. Especially
some of the viruses. So the Norovirus is something that's very common. You go to a food buffet and you hear about it all the time on cruise ships. That's probably the most infamous one. It's really common.
Yeah. That hand sanitizer is not going to kill it.
You absolutely have to use soap and water. Happy birthday. Don't forget that.
And our last tip is to make sure you get plenty of restful sleep.
So it's really important for the body to recover, for your immune system to recover. Going out there and running around like crazy is not going to help. Plus, you're going to help spread the ick to other people.
Yeah. One of our favorite things that we do to help us sleep is we just take an over-the-counter magnesium supplement. Magnesium just kind of relaxes you and helps you sleep. Always follow the instructions. If you have medical problems, again, make sure you ask your doctor before you take anything. But we take one called Calm that is just perfect. And
if you also have sore muscles, magnesium is actually one of nature's muscle relaxers. So it actually, just like the name Calm, it does relax you. It does make you feel loose.
Yeah.
All loosey-goosey.
And we must also remind you that magnesium is also a natural laxative. So if you take too much of it, you can end up with some of that diarrhea we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, so if you already have diarrhea, do not take it. If you take too much, then guess what? You will have diarrhea, so...
Basically, being sick in an RV can be a pretty rough situation to be in. Sometimes you don't have enough bathrooms, you don't have enough space to feel like you're not going to be like coughing all over the other person. So I guess our biggest piece of advice is just take care of yourself, be respectful of each other.
Yeah, and help each other out.
Yeah, you know, it's always nice to have somebody that will take care of you when you're not feeling well.
So, I mean, if you are a solo traveler, then, well...
You need a cat. Cat will take care of you. And
maybe a cat will take care of you. Yeah.
No, cat. Yeah. Don't need a cat.
So, that all being said, by no means, if you can't keep any food down, you're having chest pain, shortness of breath, anything like that, please, please, please seek medical advice.
Yeah.
Seek medical attention immediately.
Absolutely. So, we hope that maybe you learned a trick or two of what we do, or maybe this isn't anything new for you, but we hope that you did find this video useful. We'd love to hear like what your tips and tricks are for fighting, you know, colds, flu, whatever. What do you do? What helps you? And what do you turn to when you're not feeling well? We're always looking for different things to try. And
yeah, leave in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
Alright guys, so we think that is going to wrap it up for now.
Until next time, stay wonderful.